Hi guys, welcome back to my Brave XGS guide. Now I'm gonna review starter player Tidus. So he is SLB character. So yes, he only has one form, and I can say he is probably the best NVA physical finisher we can have right now. First of all, he has awesome passive stats. He gets 200% limit burst damage, 400% true double hand, which means yes, he has maximum true double hand. You don't need to worry about it anymore. And 200% chain modifier cap. This is really huge because that means you don't need to equip him with Savior of Soul, Lightning, Supercharged Mastery Word. So very good. And his attack stats, if you equip him with Sword, he gets 410% attack. So yes, you don't need to worry about his offensive stats other than limit burst damage, and you only need 100% more limit burst damage, and very amazing. He only has 150% beast and fairy killers, but because he only need that 100% limit burst damage, you can fill the rest of his ability slot with another killers. So yes, very amazing. And don't forget, on X+3 he gets 1000 attack raw boost. Wow, very amazing. And based from what I see on my friend list, there is 7000 star player Tidus, and yes, that means he can rival Sephiroth or Tifa in terms of attack stats. Okay, and that character, my friend, still not equipped Yuna STMR. That means if he equip Yuna STMR, he can become even more insane. And he also able to imbue himself with water, fire, and wind element, so it is really helpful, which means you don't need to rely on other characters to imbue element for himself. But for Imperil, it's just too bad because he can only Imperil well for water and light element. And the strange thing about light element is he cannot imbue himself with light element. Okay, so kind of strange, but yes, you can make him into like physical attackers because he can imperil this 135% of light resist. And other than limit burst, he also very strong chainer because like you can see that he can chain with Stardust Ray and Bolting Strike. And yes, for Stardust Ray, you can deal like 200 times damage per cast without needing anything to set up. So very good. Okay, for Bolting Strike, it is not that powerful, but I can say it's nice if you need some backup chaining. But again, the way you use him is to become finisher. And yes, his limit burst on super limit burst form is very powerful. Like you can see that, wow, it deals 240 times damage. So yes, it is the highest on the game for physical and VA right now. And on the past we have Machina, we have Queen, but the problem is those characters super limit burst is locked to certain element. But for Tidus, it is flexible. Okay, I know that he needs to equip. You may equip him with his STMR, which means his attack is locked to water element. But you don't need to do that. Okay, you can simply give him another weapon. Let's say another weapon, two-handed weapon, and yes, he become flexible now. Depends on what element you imbue him. So very amazing. And like you can see that you only need 36 limit burst crystals, which is really easily spammable. Okay, and with minimum amount of limit burst damage boost, 400%, 200% from passive, 200% from limit burst damage buff, which he has, you already deal 1200, and that's very high. Okay, very amazing. But the bad news is his non-SLB limit burst is kind of bad. Okay, it only deals 80 times base damage, so you don't need to rely on it. Okay, so that's all how you use star player Tidus. Really easy. On normal turn, use Stardust Ray Chain or Bolting Strike. Wait until your SLB ready and then spam it. Okay, so yes, that's all. Let's compare him to other character. So actually it's kind of unfair to compare him with other NVA because like I said in the beginning, he is the strongest physical NVA at this point, period. So for comparison, Tifa, okay, Tifa Brave Shift Limit Burst deals like 160 times damage, so it is obvious who is the winner because Tidus 240 times, okay? And I can say that he can fight some of the strongest physical NVA because like you know that Sephiroth, okay, he can get like 7,000 attack, but like I have said before, Tidus also able to reach that 7,000 attack, okay, on X+3 of course. So really good character, and the best part is he is flexible, okay. And yes, there's really nothing to complain about him, really nice. And yes, my only complaint is he is SLB character, you need to wait. So on content like Dark Vision, if you want to use him as a finisher, then you need to gear your party to take no damage between 3 to 5 turns. So that's the biggest problem in my eyes. So for equipment, yes, it is another problem because Kellet Bulk is water elemental weapon. It is good if you need to use water, but if you don't worry, you can use Tearfing from Trials of Mana. It is really good weapon, 170 attack, 200 sword. So it will make him flexible. You simply need to equip his Trust Master reward. It is also not bad Trust Master, okay? Maybe it's kind of wasted, but I can say perfectly good, okay, for the attack and equipment attack. For equipment attack is not useful because yeah, actually attack and equipment attack will be waste because if you equip sword, you already have maximum attack and equipment attack. But let's say if you equip great sword, then his Trust Master reward is still very useful for him. Okay, so yes, I think that's all you need to know. My conclusion for star player Tidus. So like I said, he is the best physical NVA finisher and Chainer too at this point. He has awesome stats which is really good for even for newbie players. Okay? And his Trust Master reward and STMR, while they are not hugely useful, they are perfectly good. For the Trust Master reward, you can always use it on most true double hand characters, okay? 30% attack and 50% attack, really nice. And for the STMR, two-handed sword is still kinda not a thing. There are more two-handed great sword than sword right now. So I think even when it is forced to water element, it is still perfectly good STMR. Okay, so I think if you are newbie players and you don't have strong finisher, I can say that he is worth to use UOC for, okay? Because first you get him for free on this event because you can buy his shards, at least make him into like X+2. And yes, for me, I able to make him into X+2, but for X+3, I can say that yes, it is totally worth to make him into X+3, but again, I don't need him that much because I have Sephiroth and Tifa and Angela, so yes, maybe I'm gonna hold my UOC for a while. But what I want to say is he is really strong and I can grant him 10 out of 10. Okay, he is like Tifa when she was released on the beginning of Neo Vision Age, okay? Really strong character. So I think that's all you need to know about star player Tidus. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Brave XP Guide. Bye bye guys!